ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Dear friends, it's a matter of great joy that I could come back to you and to interact on a subject which is very favorite to all of us. Thank you, friends. Thank you for coming. Now, we had studied 15 shlokas of the 5th chapter, and there had been a break for nearly 8 weeks. I'm sorry for that. I was hospitalized. I took some time to recoup. Then 3 Swamis came, one after the other. I had to be very courteous to allow them to interact with you. So time passed. And as I have been always telling you, let us not count the number of shlokas that we study. That is not material. What is essential is to what extent we absorb these man-making, character-building ideas which emanates from the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, dears, give me the liberty to quickly revise these 15 shlokas. I'm sure with the busy life that we all lead, the impact of those ideas have evaporated. We are busy people. So, allow me this freedom, and I crave your indulgence. The 5th chapter starts very, very pragmatically, very practically. How? In the 2nd chapter, Sri Krishna speaks about self-realization. What does it mean? What it is in actuality? We have all sorts of woolly-headed ideas about liberation, salvation, freedom, and in Sanskrit, moksha and mukti. Each one of us have an idea, but I am afraid we do not precisely understand what is this concept of liberation, salvation, freedom is. Sri Krishna in the 2nd chapter has theoretically defined it, and in the last few shlokas of the 2nd chapter, which is famously known as Sthitapragyasya Lakshana, the signs and symptoms of a realized soul. They walk amongst us, they live amongst us, but they don't grow 2 horns and a tail in a human body to convince they are liberated souls. So the signs and symptoms of a liberated soul has been mentioned at the end of the 2nd chapter. We have studied it. If required, we can only pick up those shlokas to revise once again. But to be very precise, what is mukti, freedom, moksha, salvation? What does it mean? And as I tell you, all of us have a woolly-headed idea. Moksha and mukti here means Sri Krishna spells it out in a very, very, very simplistically manner, understandable by each and every one of us. What did he say? Jnayate sa nitya sannyasi. Shloka number 3. Jnaya sa nitya sannyasi. Jo na dveshti na kamshati. A person who has in totality got rid of the habit of expectation from this world. Let me repeat again. Let me repeat it. A person who by self-culture, self-education, self-disciplining, who has trained himself in such a manner, he expects nothing from the world. That is, it is an attitudinal correction of human attitude. Now let us see. Let us look at our lives, each one of us. We have goals to reach, all of us. We have something to achieve. And that something belongs to this world. And our whole soul attention is on that something. That takes our attention away from the most pertinent question, that is, answer to this question, who am I? What am I? Be very clear about it. Let me again repeat, these ideas are not new. I've explained to you several times. But it should have a hold on us, which unfortunately is washed away by our involvement with things of the world. That's a fact of life. There are trillions and trillions of people walking on this earth. We have no count of it. And each one of us says, I am aware, I exist. Each one of us. The highest common factor of our conviction is, I am, I exist, and I am aware I exist. The next question is, who am I? The highest common factor of all human awareness I am, who is that am? From whom the whole thing spreads out. I am, that is why I am aware the world is. With my 5 sense organs, chakshu, karna, nasha, jihva, tvacha, the eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue, and the skin. With these 5 avenues, I interact with this world and I forget to answer the most pertinent question, who is this am? Who is this first person, singular number of English grammar? I. When I ask you, who are you? You throw your passport at my face and a bunch of papers, your biodata or your curricular VT, to identify yourself. But wait, what is that you are giving to me? My passport. My body, my mind, my intellect, my emotions, my ego. All of them are mine. Nobody says, I body, I life, I emotion, I intellect, I ego. If you say so, you get 0 in English composition. Your teacher will fail you. That is not the true answer to the question, who are you? With this problem not being solved, I don't live in vacuum. I fill it up with what I am not. Atasmin tat buddhi. That what I am not, I fill myself up with this misconception. This is a fact of life. We have no time to sit and analyze it. And if we do once an hour, once a week, the rest of the 6 days is good enough to wash it away. Therefore, dears, repetition is such that it creates a groove, and more you repeat, the deeper the groove in your brain becomes, and once you are in that groove, you don't come out of it. I am Sat Sarup, pure existence. I am Chit Sarup, pure awareness. And I am Ananda Sarup, ecstatic, divine bliss is my nature. Sat Sarup, Chit Sarup, Ananda Sarup, Satchidananda Atma. I am that, of which I am aware I exist. Satta is existence, Chetana is awareness. Where has Ananda Sarupata disappeared? It has not disappeared. It is there. But you have insulated it in such a manner that Satta and Chetana percolates through, but Ananda is unable to percolate. I'll give you an example, an ancient example. I would like to read my scriptures. It is night time. I have nothing else but to light out a fire. And in that fire there is light and heat, and I take advantage of it and I read my scriptures. After a while, the heat gets unbearable, but I can't do without the light. So I think, what can I do? It strikes me, mica is an insulator of heat, but it is opaque or transparent. So I find out a sheet of mica placed between the fire and myself. Heat is not able to percolate through, but light percolates through. So I can read without being disturbed by the heat. I found out a solution. At the same time, I have found out that there are insulators which can separate the inseparables. Heat and light is inseparable in fire. But I have found out something where I can separate them, an insulator. Similarly, I have an insulation in me, of which I am not aware. Rather, I praise it, and not only I don't praise it, I chase after it. What is that? Ambition, desire to own, desire to possess. That desire is the insulation. And the medieval saint Kabir Das, a common man's saint, spoke in common language. He had a couplet. I'll recite the couplet and translate to you. One of the wisest that I've ever come across. Ye chaha tu ati nichan ki neech. O desire, O ambition, you are the meanest of the mean, the dirtiest of the dirty. I live with it, I thrive with it, I prosper with it, and Kabir Das is saying, you are the meanest of the mean, you are the dirtiest of the dirty. What does he mean? Is he in his senses? He explains why he says so. Arey, मैं तो ब्रह्म हूँ, अगर तू ना आते बीच. You know why I am sort of cursing you, telling you as meanest of the mean, dirtiest of the dirty, because I am Sridharananda Swarup Brahman. You have come in my understanding, you have spoilt my attitude, and I am no more a Brahman, I am a victim of situation, and I am being kicked around in this world. Now, there is a practical example to prove that what is desirelessness and how you can enjoy a glimpse of it. in this life of yours. I'll give you an example. Say, for instance, you are very, very, very extremely desirous of owning the world's best sports car, Alfa Romeo sports car. You are desirous of it. Because of your desire, you are first motivated to save, then you beg, and ultimately you borrow. I'm going through all the ethical means, not stealing or robbing. Ethically, you save, you beg from your friends, and you borrow. And you buy one. The dealer hands over the ring, key ring with keys and your papers of ownership. And you are in cloud 9. As if the ownership of that car has given heaven in your hands. You experience an intense joy. Why? Analyze it. Because that disturbing desire has been uprooted. Why? You have now the ownership of the object which you desire. So the desire is gone, and you are in cloud 9, and you interpret the ownership of this car has brought me this joy. Wait a while. A mischievous boy at the street side, roadside, he gets a piece of, I would say, steel or glass and scratches your car all through. Where will your joy go? Are you joyous? The ownership is yours. Are you joyous? You fall with thought, oh dear me, what a calamity. But the ownership is yours. But you desired your object to be undisturbed. That desire has been destroyed. Not to your acceptance. That period of intense joy of ownership is that the desire of owning the car has disappeared for a while till some other desire fill that vacuum. You are enjoying that ecstatic divine joy which is your own nature. That is why Tulsidas said, Are main to Brahma hu. I am Satchid Ananda Sarup Atma. Agar tu naate beech. If you have not come in me as an insulator, I would have enjoyed my true original nature. Get rid of your desire and you'll rehabilitate yourself in your lost glory. This is what it is. That word in Sanskrit is expressed as samyak nyasa sannyasa. Samyak means in totality, without any residue left behind. A. B. It will not come back again. It is an irreversible state. Samyak. Nyasa means rejection. You picked it up from your ideas, thrown it out. What? Attachment to this world. I have no attachment. I perform my duties of life. As a human, I am bound down by my obligations to myself, to my family, to my society, to my country, to humanity at large. I will continue to perform my duties, but I will keep a sharp, watchful, hawkish eye on me that I don't get attached. That means I live in vacuum. How do I live? I'm used to live with desire. And Swami, you are telling me to live in vacuum. Am I going to reduce myself in a piece of stone or a piece of timber or a piece of linen, an inanimate object? I am a throbbing, vibrating, animated life. How do you expect to do that? The teachers have an answer for it. Don't do it for yourself. Do it whatever you have to do. Do it thoroughly. Do it correctly. Do it perfectly. Do it excellently. With all your heart and soul. And do it for love of God. The concept of vacuum is removed. I love God, who is in me, who is everywhere. There is not a speck of space or a dot of time that God is not. Let me develop this attitude that God is everywhere. He is in me, He is everywhere. Let me be aware of His presence and let the flow of my life rotate around the awareness of His presence. Let my life flow. I am a professional. I am a social worker. I am this, I am that. Let it continue. But no more with attachment. If there is to be an attachment, let it be. Let that be the attachment and love for serving God and nothing else. Is it clearly understood, my dears? This is in the brain. First, you understand it rationally. That is what the brain is required. There is no illogical statement in whatever I have said up till now. It is logical. Therefore, it is rational. Therefore, I cannot throw it away. I am proud of being a rational creature. Rationality says you can follow the flow of your life correctly, thoroughly, perfectly, efficiently, with your whole heart and soul, and not in vacuum, with the total awareness of presence of God and interacting with Him with deep, abiding love and affection. Am I wrong? If so, please point it out. And this is the essence. This is the essence of the word sannyasa. Samyak nyasa. Total rejection. Rejection of what? Attachment to the things of the world. And if it doesn't go, let it be. How? Attachment is to my beloved God. That solves your problem. The 5th chapter starts in this vein. Definition of a sannyasi. Who is a real sannyasi? That's 3rd shloka. The first 2 shlokas say, whether you are a sannyasi or a karma yogi or a bhakta yogi, bhakti yogi, or jnana yogi or a raj yogi, jnana, bhakti, karma and raja. These are the 4 aspects of human faculty. Rationality is jnana, emotionality is bhakti, ingenuity is karma, and determined will is yoga. With all these 4 faculties, either one or the other, or all of them blended together holistically, I allow the flow of my life according to the promises that I have made to myself and the society. On one hand, professional excellence to serve the society. On the other hand, character building education in my personal life. Here comes the concept of sannyasa, character building. This attitude of being attached to the worldly things has to be converted into service to God. Karma yoga. First you need jnana yoga, then you need to perform lubricated by your emotion. Let it not be a dry performance. Let it be lubricated by your emotion. And a rock solid determination. So read the third shloka now. I will request you to carry a small Gita with the shlokas and translations in a language that you easily understand. I'll refer it to and it will go deep into you. The third shloka says, when he says, use the word sannyasa, tayostu karma sannyasat, karma yoga vishishyate. We'll compare to it later on. Let us read the third one. Gya sanitya sannyasi yo na dveshti na kankshati nirdando hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. There's the third shloka. Who is a sannyasi? And that is our question. Sri Krishna gives an answer. Gyasa. Know him to be Nitya Sannyasi. Always rooted in the concept of sannyasa. Never ever deviating. Rock solid foundation. The attitudinal conviction is such, it never changes. Nitya Sannyasi. Know him to be such a sannyasi. Who? How do I identify? Jo na dveshti na kankshati. Here is a man who never shows his likes, who never shows his dislikes. He has gone beyond the domain of liking, disliking, attachment and aversion, therefore happiness and misery. They are all interconnected. Know him to be a sannyasi. Jo na dveshti, who has no sense of aversion. It is the Holy Mother's play. Maya ka khel hai ye. All this is the mother's game. Mahamaya's game. What have I to say? Whether it is good, whether it is bad, humanly, it is happening beyond my control. What can I do? Why waste your energy in being attached and being averse to? Why? You better direct your energy towards one goal. That is, let your life flow with your professional excellence and with your attitudinal correction. He is a sannyasi. Jo na dveshti na kankshati. He is not averse to anything. He doesn't desire anything. If he has to have a desire, his desire is to devotion to God. Nirdando hi mahabao sukham bandhat pramuchyate. If you can practice this, non-attachment, non-involvement. Remember, non-involvement, non-attachment, but attached through the flow of life. Life has to flow, one after the other. Let the life flow, but let it flow rotating around the central axis, awareness of presence of God. Nirdandha. He has no dvandha. He has no quarrel with anybody. He has no doubt, nothing at all. He is very easily placed to be emancipated, to be liberated, to enjoy salvation, to receive moksha and mukti. And what does that moksha and mukti word mean in common practical terms? Moksha and mukti means atyantik dukkhasya nivritti paravasukha prapti. Dukkhasya atyantik nivritti. The concept of sadness, concept of misery, concept of unhappiness is a concept which I need not explain to you. We are all saturated with that concept. Dukkhasya atyantik nivritti. Total abnegation of, total rejection of, total removal of misery. That concept of misery has totally left me. You come and say, I am very miserable. I will cup my ears and ask you, what language are you speaking? I don't understand. What is misery? What type of animal is it? That will be yours. Dukkhasya atyantik nivritti. And you don't live as an inanimate object. Paravasukha prapti. Think of that ownership of that sports car. Paravasukha prapti. That sparkling time. Because you know what happened? Psychologically, that all-consuming desire to own the sports car had subjugated all your desires. Overwhelming, overburning desire had subjugated all your desires. So you are, for a fraction of a moment, desireless. And as soon as you become legalless, your own true original nature was uncovered from that insulation. Chaha, ati nichan ki neech, dirtiest of the dirty, meanest of the mean. अगर मैं तो ब्रह्म हूँ, I am the absolute Atman. अगर तू राते बीच, you have come in between. That is why I've lost my regality. I've lost my majesty. I've lost my soul. So please now, for the today's talk, try to keep in mind what is sannyasa. Next time, if I'm able to, I'll come back to tell you why Sri Krishna says in the fourth shloka or another shloka, what is it? Vishishyati. Yes. He says, Tayostu karma sannyasat karma yoga vishishyati. Between karma sannyasa and karma yoga is better. Why? That will be the topic of the next class. So please, for heaven's sake, don't count the number of shlokas. Please expose to yourself the essentials of the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, which is nothing else but extraction, abstraction of all shastras. Whether it is Quran or Bible, Zinda Vesta or Madhyama Karika of the Buddhist, Gita is the extract of all the scriptures. Thank you, dears. Thank you, dears. Enough for the day.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.